Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. Bell. Welcome back to another episode of Hold Up in Another Thing presented by the Mixed Vibes Media Company. Hopefully, by now, yes, I already know the vibes. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? I made a post in I Need a Guest on the Facebook group, and a lot of people reached out. But it's only been one person that's actually been real consistent, so I want to thank her for that before we even get started. But here she is. Why don't you introduce yourself to the people?
Hey guys, my name is Erika Nicole, aka Erica Speaks Life, all over the social media streets. Um, I'm just your gal pal, your girl next door, just figuring life out, having a good time while doing it. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for responding. Thank you for being a guest. Thank you for coming through. First off, let's tell the people about you. What makes you
Well,
you?
life lessons. So current day, I'm a 51-year-old, divorced empty nester. I do a lot of things on the women empowerment sector. I'm an author, a speaker, a master coach. I'm a podcaster. We talked about that. I just absolutely love giving a place for people to tell their story and shine their light. I am a woman of major faith, nurse by profession, 24 years in the nursing field. I'm a mom, I'm a Gigi. Like, I'm just that. And I'm just trying to figure this thing out called life.
Okay, so you a Gigi?
I'm a Gigi. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I have three amazing. This is funny. I used to be G. So when I was married, my husband at the time has two older daughters outside of the marriage. And we didn't really have the Brady Bunch relationship, right? I thought we would, but we didn't. So one of his children became a mom at a young age. And at that point, I was really young. I was like, oh, I'm too young to be somebody's grandma. So her daughter called me G.
Okay.
So when my daughter that we raised three in the house, two outside of the house. When my granddaughter Charlie was born, she everything she spoke in doubles.
Oh, okay.
So I became Gigi. And so I've been Gigi from here on out. Now I have three babies that call me Gigi.
It's Gigi. That's my mother. My mother was definitely. She's like, I'm not a grandma. Don't call me grandma. Don't call me granny. I won't be Nana. I was like, well, her mother is Nana. So what you gonna do?
Well,
I'm gonna
my
tell
mother
everybody.
is Nanny.
See, that's what
My
she.
mother's nanny, and I mean, it was so funny because when my kids were coming up, people thought they really had a daggum nanny. We ain't got no money. We ain't got no nanny over here.
Yeah, we end up stumbling on Mimi, and she been Mimi to my son ever since. It's just me. That's Mimi.
One of my best friends is Mimi.
Yeah, but I still now I done kind of got out of the go tell your Mimi. I'd be like, man, your grandmama said. I done just got out of the habit because I had a grandma, and the bond with grandma is just different.
Oh
So,
my God, I had a grandmommy. I had a grandmommy, and let me tell you something. That woman was the wind beneath my wings.
mm-hmm. Yes, the grandma relationship on my mother's mother and my father's mother, I was just so close to both of them. Matter of fact, it got to the point that I called after my grandma. She had both her legs amputated, and I started calling her my big baby because I took care of her like she was a baby.
Oh, I
As far
love it. I
as
love it.
as big as always and forever will be my big baby.
I know
She
that's
didn't like
right.
it at first. She's like, "I'm grandma, don't call me that." Then after like a year, she said, "I guess it's all right. You call me."
She gave you permission.
It took a
Hey, I
year.
lhad
It took a year. It went.
you had to work. You had to weigh her down. You had to work her down.
I got hit a couple times on the way too, but that's neither.
Believe it. I
That's,
believe it.
that's neither here nor there. But like I said, thank you for taking the time out to do this. But so it's crazy that I never had this conversation on the podcast, and it's talking about post breakups. Which I started this podcast with a person I was in a relationship with, and then we split up, and I continued to do the podcast solo, but I've never had a conversation about breakup. So it's great to have
Uh,
that. This is great, to finally get to it. You would think I would have done it a long time ago, right? But so the first thing I really wanted to ask is because I know you're a coach.
yep, I'm a master life coach. Absolutely.
How do you process the breakup?
Okay, so I was married 26 years.
That's what I'm saying.
a long time. That's a lifetime. I got married when I was 26, ironically. And actually, let me take that back. I was married 25 years and 51 weeks. We actually got a divorce a week before our 26th wedding anniversary because I was adamant that I was not going to be married another year. So I was very adamant, and we got a divorce. That sounds crazy, but we did. We got a divorce November the 16th, and our wedding anniversary was November the 23rd, so exactly a week away. Processing the breakup, I think it just depends. It depends to me on what kind of breakup it was.
Okay.
Either way it goes, there's a grieving process. But depending on what type of breakup it is, will depend on where you fall in the process. There's 7 stages of grief. So if you break up with a whole bunch of animosity, then you start in that process in anger.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If it wasn't mutual, right? Somebody may be starting it in denial or bargaining. Please take me back. Please take me back. But if it was consensual, right, in all parties, then you're going through the natural phase of the process. For me, I started mine in the middle.
Okay.
And I think it was because I had already began the process. The last 5 years of my breakup were they were horrid. For lack of a better word, it was hell. It was hell. The last 5 years were total hell. We separated twice. Both times we separated, he could not afford to live separate from me, so we still lived together. In that 5 years, we sold the big house, 4,000 square feet. We moved in with my mom to take care of her. We were separated at the time. It was hell. We got back together. We went to counseling. We moved in our own apartment, and I think we were there 6 months before I woke up, and literally a prayer answered that morning at 6:50 a.m. on July 21st. And I woke him up, asked some questions, and asked for a divorce.
The fact, you know, it was real because you remember the time and the day.
In April of 2019, I remember we were separated and it was just ugly. It was, I mean, I remember waking up one morning, this sounds so bad. Waking up one day in the middle of the night because he was sick, so he would sleep in a chair because of his back problems. He had back problems. When I say sick, he wasn't dying or nothing. He would sleep in a chair because of his back. And I remember one day he was snoring. It was just getting on my nerve. And I thought, if this nigga would just stop breathing. And then the reality set in, oh my God, if he stops breathing, you got to pay for it because he's still your husband. So I was like, okay, God, whatever. So as we were going through this, I remember my mom taking ill and I became her full-time caregiver. While I'm dealing with this horrid marriage, we're not speaking, we're not coexisting, like it was horrible. And I never asked God in my entire marriage this particular thing. So I asked God, I remember screaming at the top of my lungs, God, if he's a cheater, expose it to where I would see it and understand it. No more rumors, no more he said, she said. Show it to your daughter and tell me what to do. That was April of 2019. July 21st, 2021, 6:50 in the morning. I woke up. I could not find my phone, which was totally out of character because every night I'm very routine. I go to bed, my phone, my watch, and my iPad are all plugged up on my side of the bed. Everything was there except my phone. And I went to look for my phone. I couldn't find it. I needed his phone. I got his phone. I asked him for his passcode because I'm not one of them wives that's all up in your phone. I ain't looking for nothing because my grandma always told me if you look for it, you're going to find it.
That's true. That is true.
Had the rumors. I'd heard the dirt, but I wasn't looking. I asked him for his passcode. He gave me his passcode. I went to look for my phone. Now he got an Android. I have an iPhone. This is important because if you know when you're on the opposite device, you don't really know what to hit to do what you're trying to do, right?
Right.
So I was trying to hang up the phone. I ended up going into his text messages And there was a particular text message that was 6:50 in 2:50, excuse me, 2:50 a.m. in the morning, just a few hours ago. Well, seeing the text message, I thought, what? He didn't come to bed till 3, so he was texting, boop,
Before you went
and
to the room. Okay.
yeah. So I'm looking at this text message. This text message goes from July to March. This text message is dogging me out. It's a relationship. It's a relationship. So then I click on a couple of more. Oh, it's some with some pic. And like it's all the things. All the things. And then something said, go to LinkedIn, because that was the only social media he was on. I go to LinkedIn and lo and behold, it's going down in the DM. So I
On
just woke him up
LinkedIn.
on LinkedIn. So I woke him up and I asked him, I said, hey babe, what is this? Scary thing is I was very calm. I'm not a calm person. Okay. In this season of my life, I wasn't calm. I should have been on top of him, probably choking him, but I wasn't, because I was just like, what is this? And he gave me his answer and we had a little dialogue. And I just took my wedding ring off and I said, I can't, I'm done. Are you staying here or are you leaving? Because this is over. This is over. And so coming out of that divorce, going into the separation, I had to be at work at 9. You know, we were kind of in COVID. We were in COVID then. So I was working virtually. I got online. I did my class at 9. At lunch, we were staying in these same apartments that I'm in now. I went to the office. I said, I need a 1 bedroom. When y'all gonna have one available? Same day, right? Same day. I was done.
You was
I was
checked out. You was
done.
ready to go. Yeah.
Done. Like so many things had happened by then. This was now in my face. And I felt the grace of God when I was talking to him. I felt the grace of God lift out of the relationship. I don't want to be nowhere to God ain't.
Yeah.
So I was
That's
out.
true. That
Got
is
my
true.
apartment, got my date, did whatever I needed to do. Like I was done. I was done.
You said you should have been on top choking him, but you was calm.
Was very, very calm. It was very weird that I was calm. But I think it goes back to this, and I don't know, men are a little bit different than women. Women are emotional.
Yeah.
So when a woman stops showing emotion,
You know it's over.
done. And I told him that. I would say that several times, right? Through our journey, I would say, you mad because I'm fussing, but when I go silent, that's when you got a real problem.
I was told that a long time ago by a female I was dating. And she's like, I care. That's why I'm acting the way I am acting. And once I'm not acting that way, you should notice something, you should pay attention and know that it's over. And I learned that in the last relationship. I could see I was still trying and she just didn't care no more. And I just looked at her. I looked at it one day and I said, oh, it's over. I had my shot, I had my chance, it's over. And I just accepted it from then because there was no emotions from her. It was a wall, as it were before. It was never that.
And especially if that other person is a communicator.
Mm-hmm.
I am a communicator. So when a communicator stops communicating, it's a wrap.
That leads me to a question. I'm gonna ask you this. It wasn't even on the list, but I always say communication is key. Why do you think communication is key for any relationship? Not just that comes from partners or friendships, any type of relationship. Why do you think communication is key?
Because if you don't communicate your expectations, needs, wants, and desires, you have these conversations in your head and you bring to this relationship your unspoken expectations. But you have set a bar for me to meet, and I don't even know what a bar is. How can I meet your needs if I don't know what your needs are? Right?
Right.
If I don't tell you I like Coca-Cola, and every time you come home, you bring in Pepsi, and now I got an attitude. But I got an attitude because you bringing me something I don't like. But I never told you I
You
don't
never
like.
communicated that. Yes.
What kind of sense does that make? Now I expect. What are you, a mind reader? We have unspoken expectations. I had this conversation with my mom just the other day.
Okay.
Just the other day, she got one of my daughters is over there living with her, and she mad at my daughter because she didn't do XYZ, but you never told her to do XYZ. So now you mad. Who you mad at? You mad at her or you mad at you?
You mad at her, but you really should be mad at yourself.
You really should be mad at yourself because you never said what you needed. If we went into relationships in truth and really said what we needed, maybe we wouldn't have problems. But then that would require us to go into relationships healed. When you go into a relationship broken and expect that person to be your saving grace, that ain't how that works.
It's not supposed to. Why do you just keep getting me off track? Why do you think people get into relationships and they haven't healed themselves yet? Do you think it's the fear of being alone? They just want somebody there, or do you think it's because they feel incomplete?
I think it is because they don't want to acknowledge their brokenness and do the work, which makes them not want to be alone, which makes them feel incomplete because you are incomplete because there's a void. Take a young lady like myself. I didn't have an active father or a father figure in my life ever. My mom didn't get married. She didn't have no long-term boyfriend. None of my uncles stepped up. My grandpa was about his own life, and my dad was MIA. So now there's a void. There's a masculine void missing. No male told me I love you. No male told me I was beautiful. No male told me I was pretty. Right? So there's a void. And so now I'm looking for validation. I'm looking for love in all the wrong places. So say the guy that I married, I had just got out of a relationship with my daughter's father. I'm pregnant, exiting this relationship. Here comes him, my knight in shining armor. He's my protector. He ain't my provider because I make good money, but he's my protector. I lose the child that I'm pregnant with. Now I'm broken, but guess who's there protecting me? Guess who's there walking with me through the death of her, through the funeral, helping me pick the pieces up. So did I marry him because I loved him, or did I marry him because it was a safe place? I felt protected because as a girl that never had a father, I never felt that type of protection.
He was able to.
So it's a void.
Okay.
It's a void. And when we don't stop and do the work and heal ourselves, male or female, therapy, coach, Jesus, whatever it is you need, maybe you need all three. But when you don't unpack your stuff and deal with you and own your own your part in every broken relationship. And when I say broken relationship, I'm talking about homeboy, homegirl, mom, dad, job you lost. I'm talking about all of it. You fell off with your homeboy because of something, deal with your part in it. Because if you don't, you're going to take that same luggage to the next house.
You preaching today. I just want you to know that you preaching today because we don't heal and we continue on with the process and then we end up breaking other people because we haven't fixed ourselves. We haven't fixed ourselves from previous issues. It's just a never ending cycle. Now we putting somebody else in the cycle that probably never should have been in that cycle because they was healed.
Yeah.
They had dealt with their stuff, but you didn't. So now you drag them in to your mess, and now they got a mess. So you brought your tornado in.
Most of the time, a healed person and a broken person are not going to connect. Or they're going to connect in a toxic way where the healed person is going to try to help the other person heal.
I was getting ready to say, do you think it happens more because the healed is trying to be a savior and put the cape on?
It's like saving somebody. It's like saving somebody that can't swim from drowning. You know what they say when they start acting crazy and flapping in front, you gotta let them go because they're gonna drown you too.
You too. They're gonna bring you down.
They're gonna bring you down too. So now all y'all going down. So either if it works both ways. If the person has done some of the work and maybe they're not as far along as you, and y'all connect along the journey, and now you become the light they need to finish the process, that's one thing. But if that person don't want to do the work, You cannot force them to do the work, and you can't heal them.
What is some advice you would give somebody that is fresh out the breakup and they're trying to heal?
Ooh, do the work.
Okay.
Do the work. So for me, the work looks like so many things. Do the work. Do your work, because everybody's work is different. You need some alone time. The best way to get over a person is not to get under a person. So quit that foolishness right there. Right? All you doing is creating more soul ties.
You must have knew
So
I was
quit
going
that
there.
foolishness.
I was going to get there.
If that ain't the most retardedest thing I've ever heard.
I have a cousin who she says that, and I look at her and I'm like, you too educated to really believe this is a thing. You're working on your doctorate. That is not a way to get over somebody, is to get right up under somebody. Because then again, that's back to you bringing somebody else into your own mess. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Well, it's two sides to it though, because that person may help you heal. But for the most part, no. You need some alone time. You need to let the wound heals from. I'm a nurse by profession, so I'm gonna draw the picture. The wound heals from the inside out, not from the outside in. So when you go get in another relationship, now you don't let the wound scab over, but underneath it's pussing and it's nasty and it's ooey and it's gooey because it done scabbed, and now you got an abscess because you didn't do the work.
You did do the
So
work.
whether you need a coach, whether you need to cross your faith, or whether you need a counselor, or like I said earlier, maybe you need all three. I needed all three because I went way back to 2-year-old Erika, and I made myself a promise that I was going to deal with all of my ish, all of it, because it wasn't his fault that we didn't make it. It was our fault that we didn't make it. I expected him to be Captain Save-A-Ho. I expected him to be my savior. I expected him to validate me. I expected him to make me happy. It's my job. So if somebody is going through a breakup and they really want to do the work, I suggest them to journal. I'd suggest them to get a confidant, somebody they can speak with. I had a tribe, I had a circle. And the funny thing is they weren't all close friends. There were people that showed up along the journey that had been there. And they were my board of directors. And I remember texting him one day and saying, I'm not okay. I am pissed off. And they showed up because I went through my divorce, one for you, one for me. Do you want these dishes or these dishes? Do you want this room of furniture? Or do you want this room of furniture? What TV would you like? I went through like that. One, I was adamant on not being a bitter wife. I did not want to be a bitter Black woman out there spewing toxicity all over the Black male. Because all men are cheaters, right? Nothing is all and nothing is always. I live my life by that. So I didn't want to be that person. Yet there was a moment when I got bitter. I got bitter because I'm watching him go on with his life. He on vacation. He doing all these things that he never did with me. And I got bitter. And that's when I had to get counseling. I had to do the real work. When you really, really, really want to heal and you want to be your greater self, you're going to do the real work. You're going to read the books. You're going to listen to the podcast. You're going to do the work. You're going to have some alone time. If you want to do the work. Now, if not, you're going to put a Band-Aid on it. You're going to get back out there. You're going to break somebody else.
And I think that's what a lot of people use it, getting up under somebody as a distraction. It's just a distraction running away from the fact that you're not healed. And you ain't, like you said, you ain't put the work in. Do you believe it's a time frame though between that you should take?
No.
Is this so? It's just when you're ready.
Everybody's time frame is different because everybody's issues are different. If you're healed, right? If you were healed going into the relationship and then you had a breakup, your healing process is going to be shorter because you're not dealing with stuff way back from when you was 2 or 16 when your first boyfriend broke up with you or your first boyfriend cheated on you. Now every man done cheated on you, but you don't realize you the toxic in the environment. It's you the common denominator. So that you got, so it depends on how healed are you to your time frame, right? Everybody's time frame is different. It's been 2 years for me. I am just now ready to date. And I don't even think I think it has more to do with the person for me than the timing,
Okay.
if it makes any sense. It's the way the person came, it's the way it's working that I'm like, for you, I'm ready. I'll come out of hiding.
So, what was it about that person that made you want to come out of hiding?
Oh, now I gotta tell the tea. I'm glad this person ain't made it to my house yet.
Then I
So
was hoping they was there so they could hear the positive words. Thought I was giving them a
no,
favor.
he's not. He's not here yet. This individual, when I was younger, prior to me at my 20s, we had a summer romance.
Mhm.
Um, and it meant a lot to me. It was short, it was sweet, and it was over. It meant a lot to me. Life happened. I have not seen this person or anything. So I'm a firm believer in the word. He that findeth the wife findeth the good and obtains the favor of the Lord. Well, in the time that I am divorcing, this person is going through his own break where he loses his fiance. She loses her life. So now we have these similarities. Both of us experience loss. In his 2 years, he is healing. He is dealing with his mental, he is processing, he's doing his thing. In my 2 years, I'm doing the same thing. He found me. I didn't find him. Funny thing is, through my 2 years, I popped in and out on Facebook dating app. It's the only dating app I use. I thought it was the biggest joke. So I would get on for 24, 48 hours and I would get off. And I'd get on again. And I did it about 3 or 4 times. Well, the last time I did it, I wasn't even on 24 hours and this person pops up. And I look at it and I'm like, that picture looks familiar, but the name doesn't go with the picture.
So you did.
It's him. It's him. And the way he's pursuing, the way he's moving, I'm open to it because it's him and the way he's doing it. He's doing it strategic. He's doing it healed. He's not forcing it. We're both celibate.
He pushing nothing down your throat. He's letting it organically develop.
Organically. We text a lot. We're connecting on an intimate level first. I've never done it like this before. I've never dated. I've never been pursued. So this is all new to me.
So,
Extremely new.
what would you say to the women out here that's getting back into the date scene after they breakups, after their relationship, after hopefully they heal? Hopefully they heal. What would you
Take your
say to them?
time. Take your time. Okay, so this I did it my way.
Mhm.
I'm a homebody. I'm extremely social on social media, but I'm not very social in life. I'm a businesswoman. I did not I wasn't in no clubs because I don't go to clubs. I went to clubs when I was a kid. I'm 51. I got time to be in no club now. I did it my way, right? I had a friend tell me, one of my dearest friends, she said, you're going to be single because you ain't going nowhere. Where they supposed to find you at? They're, it, they're going to find me. Whether they the Amazon delivery man ringing my door, whether they the door dasher, whether I'm at the grocery store. So my advice would be to be you. Do you. Don't show up as some fraud. Don't show up some be you and let it happen organically. Don't force it. Don't be sliding in nobody's DM. Just be you. Because if you're a fraud, how long are you gonna be able to keep it up?
So you don't believe in the type just push yourself out? Because I have this conversation with my sister. I be trying to push her outside of her comfort zone to date,
No, why?
but she
Why?
should do it in her life. Because I guess I
That,
had
okay.
the same mind frame as, well, if you just go to work and go home, when are you out to be seen? But I get your point as far as the
Well, does she
grocery
go to
store.
the grocery store? She go to Walgreens, CVS, the burger spot, the chicken spot.
So they will be where
You
she's
don't
at.
have to be you. They're gonna be wherever she is, because he that finds it. He that finds it. When she's available, she will be found. And you don't want to. What you want to set something up? I'm gonna hang out at the bar and be seen. I don't want nobody to find me in the bar. Find me in the bank where we over here invested and moving some money around. And I'll never forget it. I had a joker approach me at the gas station. I had paid for my gas and I was pumping my gas. I want you to hear this. I was pumping my gas. And men, if y'all listen, I want you to hear this. Don't you do this foolishness. So I'm pumping my gas that I paid for in my car that I paid for. And he walks up and he says, "Hey, pretty lady, something." So he holds in a conversation. Now, mind you, I'm still pumping my gas. He asked for my phone number. I said, I'm still pumping my gas. I finished pumping my gas. He's standing in front of my door and I asked him to move. I said, I need to get in. He said, "Are you going to give me your number?" I said, "I need to get in my car." I got in my car, I locked my door, I rolled my window down. He said, "You're not going to give me your number?" I said, "No." I said, "And I'm going to tell you why." I said, "When you walk up to a grown woman who is driving a car that she pays for, that is pumping gas that she pays for, and you got the audacity to step to her, and you don't have the sense enough to offer to pump this gas, nah, bro, I ain't what you want. Have a nice day."
I knew when you started with the gas station, I was like, it's gonna come to he didn't do something, and it's something as simple as just pumping the gas.
Because if you're not pumping the gas to get me, you're not going to pump the gas to keep me. Now we arguing about pumping the gas. Now we dealing with taking out the trash. See, this is the thing. Even within the demise of my marriage, I never pumped gas unless he was out of town and I just couldn't get to him. I didn't take out the trash. I didn't move furniture. I didn't pick up nothing heavy. There was just things I didn't do. Now, am I a kept woman? No, I'm single now. I'm pumping gas. I've been pumping gas for 2 years.
Right.
But where's the chivalry at in this? I think we forgot how to date and how to court. And it's because we haven't seen it. I'm Generation X. I was raised by a single mom. I never saw my mom in a healthy relationship. And not that she was getting beat up or anything like that. She wasn't. My mom had kind of sworn men off. I don't know what happened in her journey. But I never saw a man come to the door with flowers to take her out. I never saw a man, I just never saw courtship. So when you've never seen it, what do we have to go by? We got books, we got movies. My thing is, you got to present yourself. You got to be able to present yourself how you want to be taken. I'm not a woman that's looking for a man to take care of me, but I'm not an independent woman either. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
I want a man. I want a man in my life. I want a man, not a male.
You want a man.
I want a man. I want somebody to be able to look at me when I need to sit down and shut up. I want somebody to guide the ship. I want a partner. But if we're out here, women have to be mindful of how we're presenting ourselves. But we really have gotten to this hard place. And if we present ourselves like that, then that's how we're gonna be taken, literally and figuratively.
You think that's the man's fault? That the
I
women.
think it's society's fault.
Okay.
I think it's a little bit of both. Coming from an African American standpoint, the man was taken out of the home early.
Okay, yeah.
Taken all the way back to slavery. Women been single moms long time. Our men were getting hung, they were getting beat, they was getting, right? So our men have been out of the homes for a long time. Then, right, now move forward. Now you got the system. So heaven forbid you need some help, right, in your household. Because women cannot get help if the man lives in the house. So now you got the man out of the home again. Yeah. So now you got women having to do it by themselves for so long in a manly way that we don't really kind of forgot. I've never seen it. Me and my husband at the time, we did the best that we could do. I've never seen it. But I'm going to master it.
I respect that. I just want you to say, I just want you to know you preached this podcast. You gave a lot of quality. I enjoyed it. This has probably been one of the best times I had just listened to a person go. I really did enjoy all of it. And I'm gonna clip this up and send it to my cousin that I was right, that you don't need to just hop up under somebody. But then I'm gonna call and apologize to my sister after this podcast. Be like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't be trying to push you to do stuff that's outside your comfort zone. They'll find you at the grocery store. Better yet, I'm gonna name the podcast. I won't find you at the bar. I won't find you at the bank. I'd love that. I just
She's just your sister needs to live her life, whatever her life looks like. Church, movies, bowling, grocery store, whatever it looks like. And let it happen organically. I met a girl at the beauty salon where I get my hair done, and her fiance that she is now engaged to actually rang her doorbell, and he was at the wrong house. He
wow.
met her on her front porch. I have another friend that has been married to the mailman, and that's how they met. He had a package that needed a signature, and she answered the door, and she's been married to the mailman for almost 30 years.
It's just by
So
chance.
you don't have to do anything unnatural to be found. You just be you.
Again, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Before we go, you do a podcast, you got a book. Please shout all of these things out before we
Oh
go.
my gosh. So I do have a podcast. My podcast is called Speak Life with Erika Nicole. It is a faith filled podcast for women entrepreneurs or career women just living their life out here, just getting it done. It's a live podcast. We do a live stream on Tuesdays, but it's also on all your podcast platforms on Friday. Google, Spotify, Apple, all those things. Also, my website, you can find my books. You can find everything about me there. It's www.erica with a K speakslife.com, which is my name everywhere: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Erika Speaks Life.
All right. Well, again, thank you for doing this. And
You
we're
are welcome. This was a blast. I was nervous. I thought I'm
why?
doing a podcast about dating after divorce, and they like, what?
No, I hope it went too. I hope it went too bad for you.
No, it really wasn't. It really, really wasn't. But I think it's just important because you hear a lot of negativity about dating. There's piss in the water, this, that, and the third. Well, I believe you have what you say you have. So I can put that negativity out there, right? I cannot put that out there because then that's what I'm going to attract. And I know what I want. I told God what I wanted, and I'm presenting myself to be found for that. And I do think I do think he's found.
I'm glad he had. I'll pray for the best for the both of y'all. I love these podcasts when I can just throw the question out there and I just like a quarterback handing it to the running back. I'm just gonna hand you the rock and I'm just gonna let you go and I'm gonna move out the way. I love shows like it. I just want you to know I love shows like it. But yeah,
Thank you.
yes, ma'am. Hey, I appreciate y'all for listening to Hold Up and Another Thing presented by Mixed Vibes Media. It's your boy, Mr. Bell, and I'll catch y'all next week.